Hey guys, Monkhouse here, and today we're going to be looking at two faces and seeing whether they belong to the same person. We usually call this face identification. Just quickly before we get started writing some actual code, can I suggest if you're interested in face recognition or computer vision, subscribe down below, or if you're on PC you should be able to click a little widget in the bottom right hand corner of this video. So I think today's video is pretty cool, but just before we start, I keep saying that, you just want to make sure that you've got a few images. We want two images of one person, and then we want at least one other image of someone else. So the recognition or the identification I'm going to be doing today is on Trump. So we're going to see if Trump 2 happens to look like Trump, if you will, and we're going to compare that against Obama, which is probably a pretty easy case for the program, but you can use your own image, maybe even a picture of yourself. That'd be cool. So let's go back and open our code editor, and I'm going to do that using Sublime. So this is what we had previously. I'm now going to make a few changes. So what I'm actually going to do is I am just going to comment all of this out because we don't need any of that, but I'm just going to keep it there in case you want to look at it, but we do want to keep the imports. So let's get started now. The first thing we want to do is load all of our images. So we want to load 3 images. Now I'm going to start with, I mean it doesn't really matter, but we're going to call this Obama image, and then we're going to do face recognition. So I'm actually looking at it on my right hand monitor, I won't even lie. Load image file, and it was called resources/Obama, and I think it was .jpeg. So we want something like this, so we're going to have 2 images. I'm now going to copy and paste the a couple of other lines, but you can just copy your own line and then change the picture destination, if you will. So we've got our Obama image, and we've got our Trump image. And then of course in the system we're going to have something that we refer to as our unknown image. We have no idea who this is. We just happen to know that in this case it's Trump, but we don't actually know that in terms of the code. So what we're going to do next now is use this method called face encodings, and what that's going to do for us is return a 128 dimensional vector, which is going to describe everything about that face, or the picture. And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare the 2 vectors from the different images, and that's going to tell us how similar they really are. So we're going to have a Obama encoding. And again, I said, I didn't mean to do that. Face recognition dot face encodings, and then we want our Obama image. And all we're going to do is go ahead and print that quickly, just so you can see what's going on. So let's go to our terminal and execute that script. So you can see what we actually have here is a list of lists, and the reason that is because of course there can be multiple faces in an image. It just so happens to be that we've only got one face, which is this vector array here. So let's go back and say, actually we know it's only going to be one face, so let's just grab that. So I'll just do that quickly for you again, just so you can actually understand what's going on. So all we've done is we've just gotten rid of the list of lists, so we've just got actually our list of values. So what we want to do now is the same for Trump. So this is going to be our Trump encoding, and we want to grab our Trump image, but it's very much the same context, very much the same thing. It's just that the Trump vector is just going to be very different to the Obama vector when we compare it. Now we also need to do the same for the unknown face, of course, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy paste this across for a reason. Now actually I looked at the official documentation for this, and we should do something a bit different than what we've currently got, and I'll explain to you just why. So actually what we're going to do is just undo that, and I'm going to grab all of this code here. And if we wanted to, we could actually also put this here, but what we're essentially doing is, and I should explain this, is in the face recognition library, if we don't, the program is expecting to find a face, so if it doesn't find a face, I believe it's going to crash, and we don't want that to happen. So what we should really do is some kind of error finding, And we definitely don't know that, we might know that there's a face in these two images, but if we had an unknown face that we were trying to compare, then we wouldn't necessarily know that there was a face in that image. So what we would do is try encoding this. If it doesn't work, so if you get an error because there's nothing to encode, then exit this. So you can kind of do it your way. It's probably safer to just go ahead and grab all of this and put it into here. But it's up to you what you want to do. You don't need to do any of it if you know that your image has a face, of course. So don't get confused by this bit of code. But really it's just error handling, and it's quite important in this case. So what we could then do is create a list of all of our known encodings. So if we make a listener, and we're going to call that face encodings, and you can really imagine this as, imagine you had an app, for example. You would have a database and you'd have a bunch of users. You'd want to store all of the face encodings of all of your users, if it was that sort of app, if they could sign in using face recognition. And yeah, you would then be able to retrieve a list of face encodings from your database, and when they tried to sign in, you could iterate through them and see if there's a match found, and then it would sign in to the correct account. So I can't just say Trump here. I want to say Trump encoding, and this should be Obama encoding. I was talking. So I made a quick change, and you'll see why in just a moment. I changed our face encodings to be called known faces. And the reason is because we're actually going to have an input, which is going to be an unknown face, and we actually want to compare it to our database, in quotation marks, of known faces. Now we can do this using the compare method in the face recognition library. So we're going to have our results down here now, and the results are going to be using this method called, I think it's face compare. I think it's compare faces, and it's really optimized function method, because it allows us to literally just, hang on a moment, you guys are all probably cringing because I haven't even defined this list. So known faces equals this, and we want our known faces, and then we want our unknown face encoding. So the best way to visualize this really is, like I said, with the database, and you've got an app and you're trying to sign in using a your phone camera or something, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that image that you've just submitted, and we're going to compare it to our list of known faces, and then we're going to see if it's a true, if there's a match then it's true, if there's no match then it's false. So you may ask, what actually is results? What are the values that we've returned? And that's a good question, and what we know is that we've got a list of faces, right? And each face has an encoding, and each encoding is at a certain position. So Obama is at position 0 and Trump is at position 1. This is just basic lists in Python. So what results does actually is, and remember we said we're comparing faces and it's binary, so it's either true or it's false. So what this is going to do basically is it's going to return a list for us which is equal in length to this list, so it's going to be 2. And at position 0 it's going to be a true or false whether this face matches with this face, and then at position 1 it's going to be a true or false value depending on whether this face matches with this face. So before I write anything, I guess we can just do results 0. So remember our input was Trump 2, so it's a picture of Trump, and then we're saying, does our unknown face of Trump match with our whatever's at position 0 Obama? So this should return a false value, and in the other case it should return a true value. So let's see what's at position 1, and let's go ahead and execute our Python script, and it's fr.py. Now I think I've done that right, and I have. So false, it's not Obama. True, it is Donald Trump. Now you probably want to make this a lot fancier, and you can write out some, a nice print statement or something, but fundamentally we've achieved exactly what we wanted to achieve. So that's it for what we're going to do in this video. But something I quickly wanted to talk about before you click away is that this compare faces essentially uses a predefined value of 0.6. Now you don't need to know what 0.6 means right now. All you have to know is that if the value is, I think, over the threshold of 0.6, then we're going to say that this is a match, between the two encodings. If it's less than 0.6, what we're going to say is that it's not a match. So this is where the true and false comes from, and this comes from the distance metric they use, which is what the next video is going to be about. It's going to be about using the distance, and the distance will essentially allow us, the distance method will allow us to actually change the value of the 0.6. So it actually gives you some customization as to how sensitive you want your face identification to be. If you put it closer to 1, it's going to match less faces. If you put it closer to 0, it's going to match more faces. So you can have something that's essentially not binary, but something that's more analog, if you will. So hopefully you learned something today. If you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.